What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Plugin Police. I'm your host, Massive Hater, and today we'll be checking out Sublab XL. Sublab XL is what it sounds like, a laboratory for your bass sounds, including 808s, subs, and even re-spaces in version XL. Upgrading from what was titled as simply Sublab before. Sublab XL has many different things happening within it. As far as sound generation goes, though, it has a sampler for kick/transient sounds, an oscillator for sustained bass sounds, an X-sub engine for low end, and a bunch of processing options such as distortion, harmonic adjustment, filters, envelopes, stereo widening, tone shaping, and even macros in this version and more. The cost is $20 to upgrade from the original version of Sublab, $50 as an intro price, not sure how long that lasts, and $80 for the normal price, and there's no free trial. Now, what's the difference between this and the regular version of Sublab? First off, there's more samples. They don't say how many more samples there are though, and I'm not going to count them. So if anyone wants to do that, help yourself. It comes with 9 bass packs instead of 6 bass packs. It has 100 presets instead of 60, a new super oscillator engine, 6 distortion options instead of 4. They added a wave shaper, a bit crusher, tape effects, EQ, LFO modulation, and a macro page. For something described as XL, it doesn't really seem that extra large to me. It seems only like slightly larger. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a quick demo of what Sublab XL sounds like. Okay, so I've got this beat here named This Beat Is About Me and I'd Like You to Remove It, Please. I know, catchy title. Okay, I'm just going to pick some random patches here so you guys can hear what it sounds like. Alright, then real quick, I'll show you guys the re-spaces. I don't really understand why that one's called Mike Deaned It. So yeah, overall, I think the patches are pretty good. They're decent, but there's definitely some flaws with them. I also think, like I said, these Reese patches could be a lot better. Here are the basses I actually used in this song, though. I did the basses already before using Sublab XL. I just wanted to demo it on it. Okay, now the time we've all been waiting for. Daylight savings time, which is when we review. That being said, the presets are pretty hit or miss. I felt like the volumes especially fluctuate a lot between them. It'd be a lot nicer if they were all a consistent volume, or at least closer in consistent volume, because when you're trying to cycle through presets to figure out which one you like, it makes it a lot harder when the volume is randomly jumping higher and lower. Not a huge deal, but it'd be better if they were more consistent. I noticed some of the packs were pretty consistent, and some of them were not at all. There was also this one preset that was out of key. When you play a C sharp, which is what I played in this track here, as you can see, the tuning is an E. It's called the Sub Fatty 808 preset, and this one is out of key. I promise to God I did not change it. Like, it was just like this. I felt like the Reese pack was really bare bones. There was only 6 of them in there. You know, some of them may not even be classified as a Reese technically. And quite a few of the presets seem like they're lacking mid and high end content, frequency content. Not really a huge deal because you can fix that yourself within the program or with some saturation or something. But you definitely want saturation or distortion to help these cut through shittier speakers. I experienced a few bugs as well too. Randomly, I've had the reorder feature not work sometimes. Most of the time it works, but I've had like once or twice where it wasn't moving around when I was trying to drag it. Not sure what was up with that, but it started working again after I closed the window and opened it up again. There's no undo/redo button, which isn't a big deal because you can press Ctrl Z or Ctrl Y, but I'm not a big fan of having to do that because if you accidentally click outside the plugin when you press undo with the hotkey, it'll undo whatever you did in your DAW. And if the last thing you did was bring in that plugin, then it'll delete the plugin and you'll have to start over from square one. Undo, redo button feature would be nice. I don't need to be making that mistake, and neither do you. The Super Saw oscillator is great for making Joker styled basses. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll play a clip of it right here. This sound definitely sounds awful in the upper registers though, so I wouldn't be trying to make a Super Saw chord patch with this, but I mean, you know, the plugin is named Sublab, so I don't think you're supposed to anyways. Now, the distortions are pretty cool that it has in here, but it'd be nice if there was a few more that were more subtle. The distortions in here are definitely good for aggressive music though, or what they call rage beats. There's pretty much just 6 distortions and a tape, but you know, if that bothers you, obviously you can always use saturation in your DAW or a different plugin for distortion / saturation. I experienced a weird bug too, where sometimes the distortion would create this like enveloped sound. Hear how it's cutting off like that? And then when I turn up the drive, it's how it was supposed to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a bug right here. Maybe I'm incorrect and this isn't a bug. I don't know. Sounds kind of off to me. I really like the glide functionality in Sublab XL. I like how it shows you the way that the note travels during the glide. The LFO modulation is nice. I don't really see myself using it too much with making a bass sound, especially an 808 sound. Maybe more so with like a Reese sound though, I guess. The sample engine has automatic pitch detection, which is nice because that'll save some time. It has a loop mode too, which is great because it can help you loop an 808 sample. One thing I really like is how every effect has filtering options. So if you use distortion, you can run it in parallel and then filter it a certain way. Really useful. Great for creating a very specific sound. The macro page is nice, but I personally don't see myself using it too often. Cool drawings though. The wave shaper is cool. It'd be nice if it had more shapes though. It's cool. It also has a bit crusher, but I personally don't see myself using it too often. It's a very aggressive sound for an 808. So let's talk about some alternatives now. You could use a synthesizer such as Vital or Serum. You're going to be sound designing these from scratch though, obviously, so it'll be quite a bit more work in my opinion. Another option would be Ramzoid's 808 cooker, which I've actually recommended this over the 808 cooker in the past, but the good thing about the 808 cooker is it's very quick, but it's basically just 808 samples with like some processing options, whereas this gives you a lot more tweakability and usability. And Ramzoid's 808 cooker has a finite length to the 808s. The glide also doesn't function as well, but it does have good 808 samples. And the last alternative is to use a sampler and 808 samples and process it yourself. I basically use all these methods depending on what I'm going for and the sound I'm going for and how fast I'm trying to do it. Personally, I still prefer doing my own respaces in Serum or Vital. Personally, I prefer Vital. And if you guys want a really good bass pack for Vital, check out Steven's Tackle Box. I'll link that in the description. It's $10 for 50 great bass patches, including Reese and narrow basses. But anyways, you have more wavetable options with those synthesizers. This is definitely my favorite fast way to make an 808 though. Even though this plugin has a few issues and bugs, I still think it's pretty good despite those flaws. I give Sublab XL a 7 out of 10. That's it for this episode of Plugin Police. You can check out Sublab XL in the description or the alternatives as well. I'm your host, Weaver Beats, the Massive Hater. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like it if you haven't. Trying to get to 20,000 by the end of the year. We are well on our way. Make sure to check out my Discord, Patreon, affiliate links if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bang Incorporated.